Iya. Apa? Akurat banget tuh. Gue pengennya. Gue Roblox dulu. Lu mau masang Roblox gak? Yalah, gampang banget. Iya, pakai handphone aja, yang juga bisa di handphone. Ah, kayalah. Mandi. Oh, masih kerja. Oke. udah kerja dulu aja. Iya. Keren tuh photographic memory. Apa ya? Apa ya? Emang ada 3? Lu tahu Samuel Johnson dari mana? Oh, kalau gue tau dari Loki justru. Keren ya? Iya keren ya? Iya. Nonton Loki yuk. Iya, tahu gak? Buy Robux buy Robux. Iya. Enak aja. Enggak, gue doang. Nyari yang kecil. Mungkin enggak banget. Dibayar juga enggak gue. Ribet bapaknya. Gara-gara tinggalnya aja sama Ayu. Jadi kelakuannya sama, raut mukanya sama. Umurnya 3. Umurnya 3. Lompat aja. Apaan? Udah baca gini dong. ya. Bukan bete. Jelek sih, menurut gue filmnya jelek kali. Menurut gue filmnya biasa aja. Nonton di bioskop. Ya bagus ini ya, dekorasinya bagus, cuman filmnya biasa aja, ceritanya biasa aja. Ceritanya bagusan cerita Avenger, bagus cerita Iron Man, Captain America keren banget, Captain Marvel keren, Shang-Chi keren. Captain America, Iron Man, Thor aja gue kurang suka Thor. Nonton Thor yang yang ada kan, Thor ada lanjutannya lagi. Kita belum nonton. Ada lagi. Ada satu lagi, emang ada lu ya. Capek gue udah. Capek gue. Teman-teman gue bermain sih nggak ada.
evident where it was lacking. It was tight, tall, and could barely fit 33mm tires, which, by today's standards, this is considered a very small, especially for off-road bikes. In fact, this starts blending into the category that I call all-road bikes, which are essentially road bikes that you occasionally take off-road. Here's the thing. Tire clearance is everything. The more clearance you get, the more options you have. Big tires, little tires, fenders. You can set it up for a fast Type A roadie day or for a backcountry rally mission. So you're allowed flexibility based on the ride. This one would have been helpful 15 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of headache. If you get a bike with smaller clearance, you're essentially limiting the potential capability of that bike. And for reference, if I was looking for bikes right now, I would look at things that could fit up to a 2-inch or 50mm tire. Kalau iya, berarti Anda akan butuh whatsapp.id. I've wasted a lot of time scouring geometry charts. Stack, reach, head tube angle. I thought this was the secret to finding the perfect bike. And I honestly didn't know what the hell I was actually looking at. But after riding dozens of different gravel bikes, there's a few things I've learned. I've found that geometry doesn't matter quite as much as I thought. And there's a few reasons why. Our bodies have a tremendous ability to adapt to physical situations. And sometimes that's to a fault. For example, we could be riding the wrong fit bike for a very long time. But there is a way to make sure that doesn't happen. That's to get a proper bike fit. This can guide which size to get and how to dial in the bike after you have it. Plus, playing with different tire sizes and pressure will have a dramatic effect on how the bike handles and performs in different terrain. Big tires, low pressure makes a bike more stable in rougher terrain. Small tire, high pressure will amplify handling on smooth surface and give the illusion of faster speeds. So instead of overanalyzing geocharts, focus on tire clearance and consider getting a bike fit. Shipping a bike shouldn't feel like solving a puzzle, but if you've ever tried, you know the struggle is real. Ridiculous shipping fees, confusing packing requirements, and the crippling fear, knowing our bike might not make it in one piece. It's frustrating, it's overwhelming. While it often is, it doesn't have to be this hard. Enter bike flights. They're actually cyclists. Like, they know what a derailleur is. They're a team of bike shipping experts supporting your shipment from door to door. And they've shipped over 1.5 million bikes. So they're qualified. And their mission to make shipping bikes as easy as riding them. Thank you for that. Step 1, go to bikeflights.com. Step 2, book your shipment in minutes. Step 3, get your bike packed, picked up, and safely delivered without the stress. And if you need a box, they've got you covered. Honestly, it's brilliant. It goes from this to this. It's been a long time since I've been this excited about 3-ply corrugated cardboard. Save up to 40% on shipping with the best protection for your bike. Hit the link down below, and let's get your bike to where it needs to go. Minus the headache. Steel, carbon, aluminum, titanium. I used to think material was everything. And over the last 25 years, I've ridden pretty much every material out there. But here's the thing. There's one thing that has an even bigger impact over the handling and control of your bike. We're talking about tires. Larger tires with lower pressure are going to have a more dramatic effect over the handling, compliance, and feel of your bike for the dollar than any frame material ever will. Especially if you're on a budget, don't stress about the perfect frame material. Put that effort into getting a good set of wheels and experimenting with some tires. Hey, what are your favorite tires right now? People love throwing money at fancy upgrades. And don't get me wrong, I'm a sucker for some nice shiny bike parts. But nothing I need nothing will improve your ride experience more than getting a bike fit. As unromantic as they are, they do have a big impact. It'll make you more comfortable, more efficient, and less prone to injury, which you can use on other builds. And once the fit is dialed in, there is one upgrade that can actually make up for a lower quality frame, and that is to invest in some upgraded wheels. While they can be expensive and somewhat unglamorous, upgraded wheels can have a massive impact on your bike. They increase acceleration, handling, and is the single greatest way to level up any build. I'm telling you, alloy frame with some high-end wheels is going to feel comparable to a full high-end carbon build for a fraction of the cost. If I could do it all over again, I'd invest in fit first, wheels second, and everything else last. Another thing that I learned the hard way, less is more. Like many people, I started with a 2i drivetrain. Logically thinking, more was more. But after years of adventure riding, I finally come around to understand what mountain bikers had figured out long ago. If you ramble, you 1x. Sure, 2x offers smoother transitions between the gears. But if you're riding the rough stuff, 1x is simply just easier to wrap your head around. Easier, harder. Simple. This is how you can tell if a bike brand is using bandwagon marketing or gravel walking. If a bike has a max tire clearance of 38 millimeters, that's not a gravel bike. And that's an endurance or all-road bike with some lazy marketing. Any self-respecting gravel bike is going to have a minimum max clearance of 45 millimeters. And if you're riding any amount of rugged terrain or would actually like to run fenders, I suggest looking for a clearance at a minimum of 50 millimeters, which unfortunately is exactly why I rarely run my titanium Stinner. Minimal clearance and no mounts for fenders means I just don't ride it as much as I would like to. Now, if I was just starting out, here's what I'd tell myself. Focus on max tire clearance more than geometry. Frame material is overrated. Focus on wheels. Don't overthink the drivetrain. 1x, simple and reliable. And get a proper bike fit before upgrading anything else. Or even before you get the bike. And the best part, none of these choices are permanent. You can upgrade, tweak, and adjust to your preference over time. And if you've been looking for a community of non-competitive adventure seekers, feel free to subscribe. If you've got any questions, put them down below. The community is very informed and hilarious. Gravel bikes are about adapting to constantly changing conditions, and that's what makes them so wonderful. So if you're thinking of getting a gravel bike or upgrading the one you have, these should help. Although, to understand how far you can push all of this, you'll have to watch this video right here. Yeah, that thing is crazy, and that thing is crazy.
Misal saya lagi butuh, saya lagi menjadi rumah saya nggak bawa. Tapi saya ada file yang spesifik mungkin ketinggalan di making. Saya bisa akses.
We have a love-hate relationship with road bikes priced under £1,000. On one hand, they're the best they've ever been, but on the other, they tend to have limited gear range, crap tyres, hubs that sound nasty after just a couple of rides, old tech that isn't future-proof, and sometimes no replaceable neck hanger. Cue the Canyon Enduro Race All-Road. The new, cheapest bike from the direct-to-consumer brand. Does it solve these problems? Welcome to First Look, the series where we check out new and interesting bits of tech and give you the rundown on what actually matters. Let's get into it. This video is not sponsored by Canyon, we're not being paid, and this is their bike. They're just lending it to us. It's an Enduro Race All-Road. Aluminium frame in size extra small with carbon fork and 40mm of tyre clearance. Wheels are Alex rims, laced to Shimano's new Q's hubs. Schwalbe G1 comp tyres, 34mm. Alloy Canyon finishing.
These brakes are absolutely mint. The shape of the shifter is... That's class. These Q's brakes are prop. Once you get there, it doesn't matter how much you spend. This good. Eric, we're now going to weigh the bike. This time without pedals, without a Garmin mount, but it does have bottom cage on it, which is the one that Canyon sent. Eric weighs 10.00 6 kilos. Which means absolutely nothing. As per every time we do this. It's a pretty sick looking bike though, isn't it? Let's be honest. The not sanded down welds, as per the previous version of this bike, is not as good. The previous version looked like a proper super high-end carbon, which was immense. And I'm sure them choosing to not sand them down has enabled them to get to this price point. So I'm all for having them for the price point. Sick. By the end of our testing, maybe the cool wall will be ready. Follow me and do exactly as I do. Don't you want to grow up to be just like me? That's probably Eminem that you don't even know, because you were still a baby when that album came out.
This bike comes in at €999 or £950. The exchange rate doesn't sound that good, does it? But it's still pretty well priced, especially considering the specification. There's 2 colourways. This is the silvery grey one, and then they do a purple one as well. It's the same price.
So we should probably talk about cues. So this is Shimano's new group set. Well, I say new. They told us the world about it about 18 months ago, maybe? And yet still, after all of that amount of time, we haven't been able to get our hands on it until Canyon sent us this bike. So hopefully, this is now going to mean that Q stock is going to start showing up on the market. The reason I'm super excited for Qs is the price point is pretty powerful. The product is absolutely mint. That was definitely an electric pump. I should caveat all of that I am specifically talking about drop bar cues. Cues for flat bar has actually been available for a while, but it's the drop bar version that we've been waiting for ages, and now we've got to use it in its class. It is properly class. It's 9, 10 and 11 speed. It's going to be replacing Sora, Tiagra and Claris. Like, in terms of the product offering, it's so much simpler. I'm buzzing for this group set to start coming through, because it is, it's good. It's really good.
So who is this bike for? The model name might cause some confusion here. The old Endurace was sold as an endurance bike, essentially a dedicated road bike with slightly more relaxed geometry, so your handlebars are a little bit higher and a little bit closer to you, more comfortable than a race bike for most people. But they've changed direction a bit here, and they've labelled this an all-road bike. What's an all-road bike? Nobody knows, but like Hansel, it's so hot right now. It's somewhere in between a road bike and a gravel bike. It even comes with gravel tyres, so you're going to be able to ride this bike almost anywhere you want. Maybe not the downhill world champs, but you get the idea. A bit of tow bar, some rougher off-road stuff, this bike will be great. And considering it has hydraulic disc brakes, you should feel very confident riding it off-road too. The tyres are 34mm wide, so not so fat they're going to make you sluggish on the road, but the frame and fork does have a tiny bit more clearance, up to 40mm officially, if you wanted to go bigger. It's got mudguard mounts and rack mounts and extra bottle cage holes, so if you wanted to carry loads of stuff or extra water, you can. If you wanted to use this as a commuter bike, it would be perfect. You can carry a few extra bits. Slap some dedicated road tyres on this and you're going to have absolutely no problem doing some faster rides on tarmac with this bike.
Both the front and rear shifting is buttery smooth, and the gear range is absolutely massive. In the little ring, you got 34.
Get up to 12% off your first Agoda app booking. Download the Agoda app now.
What the heck was all that Harry Styles stuff about? Where did Baron Mordo go after Doctor Strange? Who are all those kangs at the end of Quantum Mania? Truth is, nobody knows the answers to these questions, and there's a good chance we'll never find out. Thor: Love and Thunder was another MCU film that ended with the dramatic introduction of a character we've not seen since. The fourth Thor movie ends with Zeus recovering from the fight at Omnipotent City, bemoaning the fact that mortals now prefer superheroes over gods. Zeus orders his son Hercules to hunt down and kill Thor. Played by Ted Lasso star Brett Goldstein, the MCU version of Hercules looks incredibly faithful to his bare-chested, mace-wielding comic counterpart, who first appeared in 1965's Journey mystery.
I really just don't think anyone understands Venom's costume anymore. And I don't mean the alien symbiote, I just mean this big, white spider design on the chest. Nice design. Have you ever noticed how it went from a logo that looked like this for decades? Now every other time you see it, if it's included at all, it looks like this. It's on nearly every version of Venom now, but I can't help but wonder, isn't it really weird for Eddie Brock to have another character's emblem as Venom? Does anyone even remember that this design used to belong to someone else? And can we please get some consistency going forward with Venom designs instead of this back and forth nonsense? I want to take you on a trip through the history of Venom's costume so we can understand where this design came from, why it keeps popping up, and why I think we need to see a little less of it going forward. Time for some chocolate and brains. Okay, hear me out. I can absolutely make an entire video just talking about the white spider on Venom's chest. Just watch me. This video is not about trashing Insomniac Venom as the thumbnail gave you that impression. I'm specifically talking about this newer version of Venom's chest logo that has become the default in recent years for merchandising, video games, and even pops up a lot in the comics, and why I think there needs to be a change regarding its usage in everything. In all honesty, I don't even hate this design. Some artists make it look really damn cool, like Gerardo Sandoval or Tony Moore. Sometimes this look goes crazy, but it nags at me that it doesn't always make perfect sense to use this design. And in some situations, it's inappropriate for the context. For years, I always assumed that my main issue with the more modern logo change on Venom's costume was just me preferring the old one and being a typical comic fan that's resistant to change. Comic fans hate things that are different. I'm guilty of this in some cases, maybe a lot of cases, but it's not new. I'm sure decades before I was born, there were some Batman fans who really hated the yellow oval and blue highlights added to Batman's costume, who would later sire children who would lament losing those things when they were taken away again. Way back in the 1980s, during Marvel's Secret Wars, our beloved Spider-Man lucked into finding a change of clothes on an alien planet after being abducted by a godlike alien that wanted to understand human morality. During this epic battle of good versus evil to satisfy the curiosity of a reality-warping immortal entity, Spidey met a new Spider-Woman who thought she stole his whole flow. But he got her back because Julia Carpenter's spider logo that Peter telepathically imprinted on the symbiote via sheer jealousy has become an instant mainstay. It's arguably the most iconic alternate superhero costume of all time. Very few characters have a secondary costume as beloved and memorable as this one, or as many people who would argue it's just as good or better than the hero's original costume. And this costume itself was so well received, it became its own character and is enduring in popularity well into modern times. Maybe the person wearing it changes semi-frequently, but the suit always stays the same. Well, okay, I mean, it doesn't always look the same, but it's the same one. It's not like Carnage where he got a different one from the negative zone and we just forget that happened. People didn't like Spider-Man's black costume initially because it wasn't what they were used to, but they quickly turned around on it and asked for it. They were happy with the right. Maybe that led to one of Marvel's most successful anti-heroes of all time. Peter Parker got a cloth version of the costume that wasn't a sentient life form, and the original one found a bond with a morally complex loner who likes to be in his underwear all the time. This was the birth of the dark and vengeful. Of course, clear early on, he had the same costume as Spidey, but he was bigger and badder and meaner. The inherently villainous vibe of that shadowy costume and that angular spider emblem was fully realized on a character who wore that edgier look with a toothy, evil grin. And you know the rest of the year. He's a bad guy, but he didn't really have great reasons to be a bad guy. And then with time, it became more interesting as he started writing the line of morality and developed into Spidey's weird monster friend that's mostly a good guy. He was originally designed by Todd McFarlane, but I think a lot of the things that we really liked about Venom are more Eric Larson's doing, because ironically, he didn't like the character, he tried to make him look more and more ridiculous over time, but that just gave him more aura. That's where the tongue and the green drool and the giant muscles and the scary, jagged eyes come in. Venom became mostly a solo character with his own comics and a refreshing tonal recipe of dark edginess and wacky comedy. As his solo book in the 90s went on, Venom's look stayed fairly consistent, barring a few weirder examples from artists trying to really stretch the creature elements of the character. And we got the very first grievance also applies to this one too. Plot twist. Okay, here it is. This is not Eddie Brock's Venom. But can you tell at first glance if you haven't read this story about this one or this one? We went from having a very strong system worked out to tell who is who with Venom's costume, and now it's completely been thrown out the window. I realized this logo breaks the cardinal rule of legacy characters, being able to tell them apart. Wait, which person is Venom in this panel? You're wrong, it's Flash. Oh, speaking of that word, think about it. Barry Allen and Wally West are both the Flash. The broad strokes of the costume are the same because it's iconic and identifiable and strongly associated with the brand, but there are little variances that change the look just enough that you can tell which character is which by just looking at them. Barry's mask has these open eyes, bright colors. Wally's has lenses to hide his eyes in a much darker shade of red. Stylization on their belts are different. Even the chest logos are not identical. As long as the artists remember to color it right and keep these identifiers accurate, we the readers can very easily distinguish between them, whether they're right next to each other or in totally different stories. There's room enough for both Flashes, so this is a great compromise. But even if you make the costumes pretty wildly different for a legacy character, there's still the unspoken rule that you don't have them trading back and forth between each other. Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, and Jon Stewart all go by the moniker Green Lantern, and all of them have different uniforms. Sure, they
Is Galactus a villain? Technically, yes, but that's kind of like calling a hurricane a villain. He's really a force of nature. When he arrives to devour a planet, it isn't malicious. He just needs to eat. He hungers. If you're hungry to know more about him, you're in luck. Fans have yet to get a really good look at Galactus in the trailers for Fantastic Four First Steps. We've seen his shadow cast over Manhattan. We've seen his giant foot stomp through the streets. There have been some quick shots of his torso and the back of his head, so at least you know he has a humanoid body and isn't a big cloud of gas this time. More on that in a little bit. As usual, the best looks have come from toys. We also haven't heard him speak. The trailers instead allow his herald, the Silver Surfer, to do the talking for him.
I herald his beginning. I herald your end.
But we do have a pretty good idea what he'll sound like. English actor Ralph Ineson's booming voice is going to be the one coming out of that big helmet. All the way back in June 2024, Ineson did an interview with the movie Dweeb, where he didn't give anything away about what happens in the movie, but he did vibe out pretty hard about getting to play such an iconic presence in the Marvel Universe's context. Before becoming Galactus, he was just a man. Galen of Tar lived in the 6th cosmos. That was a version of the Marvel Universe before the one we all know and love. The one with Spider-Man and Alpha Flight and all the rest. Galen's mother was Tyre, the planet Tar's scienceer supreme. He was essentially born through in vitro fertilization, having gestated in what Tyre describes as a womb tube. She's not a particularly hands-on mother, instead letting an advanced crib, the Technocut, largely raise him. Galen grows up to become a scientist and explorer, and he's sent to investigate a plague that's rapidly wiping out the universe. It's been called lots of different things over the years, but Marvel eventually settled on the name of the Black Winter. Unable to stop the plague, Galen suggests that Tar's survivors fly a ship directly into the source of the radiation that's killing everything. They do, and it kills everyone except Galen, who finds himself imbued with mysterious energy. While fused with that strange energy, Galen hears a message from the sentience of the universe. We've all thought we've heard the universe talking to us, but it really does. It merges itself with Galen's body, creating an heir to the 6th cosmos as the universe dies. Soon after, a new Big Bang occurs, and the 7th cosmos is born. Galen, now a nascent Galactus, travels a new universe in a ship for a while as a being made of energy. Watches Etcher finds a ship. Can already tell that this being is so powerful that it will require feasting on planets to survive. He considers killing Galactus, but instead decides to let him live. Galactus goes back into space and releases the pod containing the bodies of the people of Tar. He then creates his costume to regulate his awesome energies and reforms a ship into an incubator in which he can grow into his eventual giant form. The incubator, which would later be named Lifebringer 1, floats through space for eons. At one point, it gets stuck inside Ego, the living planet, where a time-traveling Silver Surfer finds it. The Surfer considers destroying it, but a different Watcher, Uatu, warns it not to, because Galactus will bring balance to the universe. The Surfer then speaks with Galen, deciding to let him live and simply remove the incubator from Ego. Lifebringer 1 eventually makes its way to the planet Archaeopia. The people of the planet leave it undisturbed for years, but it's later attacked in the midst of a galactic war. The moment it's disturbed, out comes a fully formed Galactus who wipes out the space armada with one blast. Galactus then consumes Archaeopia and its unfortunate inhabitants. Galactus then spends the next several thousand years constructing a home for himself, a giant ship called Tar-2. It's so big that planets orbit it as if it were a sun. Even with all his power, even Galactus can't manage to constantly search the vast reaches of space to find planets to eat. So he appoints heralds to do that part for him. His first herald is revealed in Barrett's issue 11 from 2004 to be the Fallen One. He quickly rebels against Galactus and holds a vendetta against him. Likely the longest serving herald is the Silver Surfer. When Galactus threatens to devour the planet Zenla, the noble Norin Rad approaches to ask him to turn back. Galactus says he will, but only if Norin will become his herald. Norin agrees and is transformed into the Silver Surfer, remaining in Galactus' service for nearly a century, according to some accounts.
Norin exists no more. You are newborn, my herald.
After the Surfer left Galactus' service, the Devourer has quite honestly had a revolving door of heralds, including Airwalker, Firelord, Terax the Tamer, Nova, Morg the Executioner, and Stardust. Even Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and Thor have briefly been heralds of Galactus. The Silver Surfer initially only finds uninhabited planets for Galactus to consume, but over time, Galactus' hunger grows stronger, and it becomes unavoidable for him to devour populated worlds. The Surfer's time with Galactus comes to an end the first time Galactus comes to Earth, which also was his and the Surfer's first comics appearance in Fantastic Four, issue 48 to 50 in 1965 and 1966. The Surfer comes to Earth to summon Galactus there for dinner, but doesn't bank on a haymaker from the Thing knocking him through the skyline of blind sculptor Alicia Masters. Alicia manages to convince the Surfer that humanity is worth saving. So after Galactus arrives, the Surfer turns on his master and attacks him. That attack gives Reed Richards
in Valorant, there are 4 core agent roles, and in every single role, you'll find characters that are super similar to one another, except they're not at all. In fact, it feels like a lot of characters don't even belong in the same role. But what if I told you that there's actually more than 4 roles, and the 4 roles that Riot gives us are not actually correct at all? There's a lot we gotta break down and talk about, so let's get right in. So first, let's talk about the duelist role. And the duelist role has a freaking whopping 7 characters, but a lot of them don't share similarities at all, and only 2 of them see consistent play in the pro meta, both Jett and Raze. Now, the reason that Jett and Raze are both seeing substantial pro play while the other duelists simply do not is because they're in the category that I would call a sub-role called Space Takers. They are characters that have the means to get onto site, get across areas at a very quick pace, and in doing this, they're gathering information, they're claiming space, and they're allowing their team to follow up with them during a site execute in a way that few other characters can. It doesn't make a lot of sense to put the other duelists in the same category as Jett and Raze because they just can't do what Jett and Raze does. They can't fulfill that role in a composition, but there actually is one other character that I would put in the Space Takers category that still doesn't see substantial meta play, but occasionally on a couple of maps we have Neon. And Neon does have the means in order to take space like Jett and Raze does because she can run very fast, she can slide, but unfortunately, because competition matters, Jett and Raze have always just done those things better. And even though Neon is literally sprinting across, it's just a lot slower than double satchel or dashing, so it's not quite as effective. But still, overall, I think the kit deserves to be put in the same subcategory. Now, the second category of duelists I would call duelers, and these are characters that primarily have a kit that enables them to take angles or challenge 1v1s, and they do it better than other characters do. So, characters like Reyna that has a flash and benefits if you actually get a kill. ISO that gets, like, basically a lot of his utility from winning and taking 1v1s. Phoenix that gets to flash, clear cubbies, and, take space on site. And then Yoru, which is a weird one because I do think that you could classify Yoru as a space taker as well in a sense. Doesn't quite fit perfectly in either space takers and duelers, almost like a hybrid of both, but sometimes being something that is a mash of 2 sub-roles inside a duelist category doesn't make them better because they're using some of their kit for other things when if it was better to enable space taking, then that function in a pro composition would actually be better. But let's not get too far into that. Let's move on to the next role, Initiator. But before we do, we have in-depth guides on the skill cap website over Duelist, Initiator, Controller, and Sentinel. So if you really want to level up your gameplay and climb to Ascendant, Immortal, or even Radiant, you gotta check out our in-depth guides that break down step-by-step exactly how to climb through the ranks with targeted tips and tricks that will let you improve as quickly as possible. And if you don't believe us, we offer a improvement money-back guarantee. So if you don't climb, you don't pay. So there's literally no downside, and that's how confident we are in our product. So check it out right now in the links down below. Now, there are currently 6 initiators in the game, but I think that they deserve to be in 2 subcategories. First up is the set-uppers, and these are characters that have the ability to enable other plays and characters in their comp. So they can help set up their team for plays and swings. They can stun or clear certain areas, allowing their team to follow up, and sometimes it can be more fundamental, like doing a team strategy around their utility or their ultimate. And first up, I have Gecko. Next up, I have Breach, which makes a lot of sense. He's always trying to enable and set up a peak from a duelist, for instance, like a Neon or a Raze. And then last up, we have KO, which of course KO does have a little bit of utility that does gather information, which we'll talk about in a second. So he does have a little bit of an overlap, but mainly he is a set-upper trying to set up coordinated plays with his team, trying to enable his team with pop flashes and knives into executes and ultimates into executes. Now, the next sub-role inside the initiator category would be information gatherers, and this one's pretty self-explanatory. Characters that have utility that gather information about where other enemies are, right? So first off, we have Sova, where he has both his drone and his dart. He's using it to gather information, transferring that to his team, and allowing you and your team to make plays off of it. So in a way, you're still setting up your team, but you're doing it primarily with just getting more information, finding out where people are, finding out where people aren't, and using that to have some sort of strategical advantage. And in a very similar way, we have Fade. Similar thing, two of very, very similar abilities on Fade, whether it's Eye or Prowler, gathering information in a very similar way. That's why Fade fits perfectly into the info gathering sub-role. And then we have Sky, which is a bit of a combination. Definitely kind of similar to KO in the set uppers, where Sky does have some setup abilities like the Flash, but also information gathering primarily with the Flash sound cue if you're discovering any people, with the dog being able to gather information as well. But I would say that Sky, kind of crosses that line, toes that line a little bit, just like KO does on the other end of the spectrum, but still firmly in information gathering.
Can you please just hear me out?
No, all work management platforms are the same. They take forever to learn, and in the end, nobody uses them.
Monday.com is the one you'll actually love to use. It lets you set up your workflows yourself. No admin, no long approval process. You're in charge.
I don't have time to set up workflows.
That's fine. Monday also has a ton of templates you can choose from, so you can be up and running in no time.
It's both flexible and standardized. Sounds too good to be true.
You know that llamas are biologically incapable of lying.
How would I know that?
Anyway, did you see the dashboards? They update in real time from your team's day to day, so you're always in control.
No freaking way. I don't have to put the data in myself?
Are you for real?
The next up, we do got to talk about controller. And controller is going to be a little bit more straightforward. This distinction is one you've heard quite a bit, but I'm also dividing it into 3 different things instead of just 2. So first off, line smokes. Smokes that go and split the map. You could even call them split smokes or whatever you want to call them. Basically, having the means to wall off an entire section and using that to take space, right? And it's super important for maps like Breeze, for instance, and the only controller in this role is Viper. If you have a map or strategy that demands a line smoker, then only Viper will fulfill that role because Viper is very unique. Now, this might not always be the case. There could be other characters that get added to this in the future, but for now, it's primarily only Viper. Next up, we have dome smokes, circle smokes, smokes that get to cover certain targeted locations and you can make plays off of them and take space off of them. And it's basically only Brim and Omen. And you're gonna say, whoa, there's 2 other smokers that you haven't even talked about, but we'll talk about them in the third category. But Brim and Omen both fulfill that job very well. Of course, Brim and Omen don't share a lot of other similarities with how they play. Omen can lurk in a way that Brim cannot. Brim has more stalling capability. Omen has a flash. There's a lot of differences between these characters, but for their primary purpose, the smoking aspect of them, they share that fundamentally in a way that these both could be played on any map that needs to cover certain specific spots that a dome could cover, but if you need a line smoker, neither of these characters are going to do it for you. Now, last up, I'm going to call the third category assisted smokes. And these are smokes that historically, this can change, but historically have not been played by themselves. They're smoke controller characters that demand to be paired with another controller. They are primarily going to be using their utility to create some play, set up some strategic advantage, and not necessarily do the fundamental job of smoking off X sight line, executing onto site. They are often going to be used in conjunction, whether it's Astra with the Harbor, or whether it's freaking Astra and a Viper, or whether it's Harbor and an Omen, or whatever the case may be. Now, while these characters I'm putting in 3 categories, these categories don't necessarily have to stick because they're based primarily not like the other sub-roles that I talked about, where those are based more on the utility that those characters provide. These are more based on how these characters are actually used, because honestly, I don't think just dividing them by Line Smoker and Dome Smoker and putting Viper and Harbor up against Brim, Omen, Astra makes any sense when those characters are not grouped in that way pretty much at all. Even if Harbor is technically a line smoker, you could make the argument. That doesn't mean that he could play that role, but there is a world where maybe they buff Harbor a ton. Maybe he is going to be strong enough to do it. You never really know. Buffs, reworks to characters can change how strong characters are, how they're being used. So I'd say that the controller role is a little bit flexible dependent on how people are using it at the given meta. But let me know down below how you feel they should be grouped if you have a different idea. And last up is the Sentinel role. And honestly, I don't really think the Sentinel role needs to be divided any further than just Space Denial. They are Space Denial characters, pretty much all of them. either cut information or cut the ability to take space. That's pretty much what they do. They deny these things from the enemy, whether they're doing it with utility, whether they're doing it with slows, whatever they're doing it with, they are denying space. Now, we talked about Jet and Raze as space takers. The entire Sentinel role is a space denier. Now, I will say that one of the things that's interesting is Sage differentiates herself as being the only character that doesn't gather any information with her utility at all, compared to all the other Sentinels. So you could say Sage is a non-information gatherer while the other ones are, but I really think that the entire Sentinel role is pretty fine as is. There's not even really a lot of Sentinels to need to further divide them, but similar to the controller role, would you divide them in any way? How would you do it? In the comments down below. But anyways, these are the ways that I think you can further divide the roles in Valorant to make it more clear about what they actually do and mean. Because if you say, I need a duelist, I need an initiator, I need a controller, what does that actually mean? It doesn't mean anything unless you further divide the roles and give clarity to what the characters within those roles actually do. Anyways, let us know if you agree or disagree with this video, and smash the like, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Check out Skill Capped if you really want to get cracked just like that. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Choose from thousands of realistic voices to use in your content. Change the way you record podcasts, voiceovers, and branded content with the #1 AI-powered voice generating technology. Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take. Try 11 Labs for free and start elevating your content today.
Influencers are lying to you about Japan.
They're walking around Tokyo in brand new socks to test how clean the streets are in Japan. But they're clearly changing socks at the end of the video. So Ben is taking one for the team to see how clean these streets really are.
This feels like a humiliation ritual.
A humiliation ritual for science. Did until we got off and we found vending machines even dirtier than his socks. But Ben has had enough. So let's see those final results. Japan is clean, but not that clean.
I love your hair.
Thank you.
2 gingers are in a car. Who's driving?
One of them.
The constable.
I don't get
The
it.
cop. Because they're arrested.
Oh, for being gross.
Yeah.
Tell me your honest thoughts about gingers.
Oh, I think they're good people. I find ginger girls attractive. Oh, who?
Keep going.
You haven't even noticed that. Oh, yeah. Wasn't that saying my thing? I find ginger men kind of gross.
How do you cure a ginger? Chemotherapy.
That's very funny. That is very funny.
Thanks.
I like that. You should tell that on stage.
I don't do jokes on stage.
Oh no, I know.
That's a laugh.
My laugh? Shit. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
Why is the don't walk light red?
Why?
To tell gingers when to walk.
I think that's one of my favorites so far. That's really good.
Hey Milan, why do gingers have red hair?
Why do gingers have red hair?
It's the blood from their attempted abortion.
Okay, so we had one good one. Oh, he likes it. Okay, not a ginger.
The first joke for last, eh?
The funniest OG.
Get out of there.
Bombs.
Hello. Oi, hello, hello.
Hello.
After Mr. Fantastic realizes that the world will end in 8 hours, Reed asks the Black Panther if there's truly nothing more they can do. When T'Challa confirms there isn't, all the Avengers go into mourning. Tony Stark begins to argue with himself and ultimately decides to drink himself to death, defeating his alcoholism once and for all. Bruce Banner drives to the Gamma Bomb testing site and chooses to drink something lighter, enjoying the solitude while telling Wookiee that this time he's finally going to lose. Elsewhere, Doctor Strange, somewhat depressed, asks Wong if he thinks he's a good man, only to hear Wong say he isn't. With less than 3 hours left, Stark begins to question the ethics of destroying other planets to save their own, but quickly realizes how insane the idea is and keeps it to himself. 20 minutes before the end, Black Panther and Storm decide to end their relationship. Before leaving, T'Challa tells her that he will love her forever, but sadly, forever is no longer possible. Reed Richards travels to Doctor Doom's castle to see his daughter one last time. With barely 5 minutes left in the universe, Doom asks Susan what is happening. Meanwhile, we see Lightning, or possibly another hero, please clarify if this is a specific character, observing Earth from the moon, screaming into the sky, crying, and completely breaking down as only 1 minute remains. As the final 60 seconds tick away, all the heroes, whether accepting or resisting, quietly face their fate. But as the countdown reaches 0, nothing happens. Confused, the Illuminati immediately convene to understand why the world didn't end. During the discussion, they come to a stunning realization: love was not present. Later, they discover that love, possibly referring to a cosmic entity or metaphorical force, had been working with Thanos to destroy other planets in order to save the main universe. And, in a way, they actually succeeded. After Mr. Fantastic...
Could a swimming pool stop a bullet?
This will blow your mind. First, clean and rinse the Damascus fitting. Hang on wire. Lower into acid. This acid's nasty. If you get it on your skin, it will stain it yellow. 10 minutes have gone by. Let's look at the pattern. Whoa, look at that. Look at that pattern. Look at the gold inlay around it. Neutralize acid on part in baking soda water. This will kill the acid and keep it from rusting the part. Submerge part in strong instant coffee mixture. Stick part and coffee mixture into fridge. 3 days later, take part out and rinse off. Oh, looking good. Polish part with sunshine cloth. And that's how I get an amazing, mind-blowing finish on my Damascus piece for the Griffin scabbard.
So the whole family has powers. Yep, all my brothers.
Nah, ini tips juga teman-teman semuanya dikit ya. Kalau misalkan kalian udah suka sama tone-nya preset kalian yang ini, kita pengen turunin volume, tapi nggak pengen tone-nya berubah. Daripada kita turunin volume OD-nya atau volume ampli-nya, itu kan bakal mengubah tone-nya. Karena interaksi signal chain ini bakal mempengaruhi banget. Di GP 100 atau 200, itu ada yang namanya patch volume nih di sini. Kalau di menu di atas yang ini patch volume, kita kecilin itu aja. Volumenya bakal nurun, tapi tone-nya nggak berubah. Jadi boleh coba kita turunin 10 angka dulu kali ya. Terus kita save dulu. Nah, kita coba scroll lagi. Coba lagi main lagi. Boleh. Lagi. Lagi balik. Ya, boleh. Nah, jadi volume preset itu nggak jomplang, tone-nya tapi nggak berubah. Jadi itu sebuah tips buat kalian.
The first team in our sights for this...
Are you ready for your American measurements test?
Oh yeah, thanks.
What's this?
An inch.
And this?
Foot.
And this?
A yard.
Correct. This?
A 9mm.
Correct. The barrel?
4 inch.
Correct. And what size is this Coca-Cola?
12 fluid ounce.
Correct. And this one?
16.9 ounce.
Correct. And this one?
2 liters.
And in the 16-ounce Coca-Cola, how much sugar?
55 grams.
Correct. What is the engine capacity of this Ford F-150?
5 liters.
Correct. And it gets?
21 miles per gallon.
Correct. At?
400 horsepower.
That is correct. Now, when you are purchasing the green green stuff, if you know what I mean.
You buy it by the ounce.
And the white powder?
Grams.
And what about the stock part?
Yeah, that's in pounds until it's seized by the feds and then it's kilograms.
That's correct. Now, how do we measure your weight?
Oh, pounds and ounces.
And what you bench?
That pounds.
Olympic bench?
Kilograms.
Correct. And your protein shake has
50 grams of protein.
Correct. The temperature outside is
Fahrenheit.
Correct. The oven?
Fahrenheit.
And when you're flying a plane?
Celsius.
Correct. And you fly the plane at
35,000 feet.
Correct. And what's your height right now?
5'10".
And in the coroner's report?
177 centimeters.
Correct. Rapid fire. Golf.
Yards.
Football.
Yards.
Athletics. Track.
Meters.
Correct. What's that camera?
It's got a 1-inch sensor.
And the lens?
35 mil.
Very nice. I thought so. Paracetamol.
500 milligrams.
Cough medicine.
2 teaspoons.
Correct. How big is your house?
10,000 square feet.
Ooh, and the insulation?
120 mil.
Correct. And what is your shoe size?
No idea.
That is correct. Okay, finally, what is the conversion from pounds to kilograms?
Don't know.
Correct. Miles to kilometers?
No idea.
Correct. And Celsius to Fahrenheit?
Nobody knows that.
Oh, correct. You passed the test. On your way out, you can collect a nice beverage. You can have a pint of beer, 750 ml of wine, or some American liquor. A fifth of American liquor, which is 120 proof. Even I don't know that one.
Oh, thanks. Actually, I'm looking for a light bulb. It's 2.3 inches in diameter. It has a 27 millimeter screw. It's a 6-watt LED, 120 volts. It's 2700 Kelvin, 450 lumens, and the incandescent equal is 40 watts. One of those?
If there is one person capable of laying the foundations of the multiverse in a few sentences, it's Reed Richards, the smartest brain of Marvel. He could explain everything, whether in his own film or at the beginning of Doomsday, all while simplifying the concepts for his teammates, and therefore for us. It would be the ideal moment to finally establish the foundations. Especially since, as confirmed in the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts and their presence in the cast of Avengers 5, we know they are going to cross paths with the heroes of the MCU. A quick reminder of what we already know. Earth 616, that's the main universe of the MCU, nicknamed the Sacred Timeline. We also saw Earth 838 in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with its Illuminati. Earth 10,005 featured in Deadpool and Wolverine, which is the Fox X-Men universe. By the way, this is the same universe where Monica Rambeau lands at the end of the Marvels, and which will be the universe of the X-Men in Doomsday. It's also the universe of Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and that of Venom, made canon via the post-credit scene of No Way Home. If we set aside What If and the animated series, that's about it. But we know that an infinite number of universes exist, monitored from the end of time by Loki, who has become the god of stories, seated on his throne, watching over the branches of the reality tree Yggdrasil. We also know about the Vortex, alias the Void, a sort of multiversal dump where variants and objects deemed too dangerous or from universes erased by the TVA are sent. This will probably become the next Battleworld, the world that will be created by Doctor Doom after the destruction of the multiverse. Now, let's talk a bit about the TVA. What is it? It is a bureaucracy outside of time created by He Who Remains, who we saw in the Loki series. Originally, it was tasked with eliminating other realities to keep only the sacred timeline. Today, their mission is, on the contrary, to protect these timelines and allow for free will. The universe of this film corresponds to one of its branches. It even has a name, Earth 828. In Doctor Strange, in the Multiverse of Madness, we discover the incursion, a collision between two universes caused by an anomaly that is too significant between.
Water, come forth. Aqua! H2O! As long as I imagine it, looks like I don't